actually reward the kind of work that my wife does at home with our 2 boys, one of whom is autistic. It starts recognizing the uncompensated and unrewarded work that happens every day in our families and communities.
Let me talk to you about that. You and I had a little bit of a chat before we came out here, in that we share an experience of a child with special needs, and partners, wives who have focused all their energy and attention on caring for that child and the other kids, because this is a family-wide burden. Tell me about Christopher, your son, who's 7 now, I guess.
Yeah.
And how your experience with his autism has impacted on you, on Evelyn, your wife, and your family.
First, David, I have to say from our conversation, your wife sounds like a superhero.
She is. She is.
My wife's a superhero too, and I remember when we found out Christopher is autistic, it was this huge relief because there had been so much stress and confusion and anxiety in our house leading up to that, and it was...
Why was there? Because you knew something was wrong and you didn't know what it was?
Well, you're a first-time parent, so then when something's happening, you think, well, maybe this is normal, maybe this is how 2-year-olds react, maybe this is how 3-year-olds react, you're confused, you haven't been through it in a real way. And one of the reasons why I'm for free marriage counseling for any couple that wants it is that the divorce rate for parents with children who have special needs is 80%. And I saw the stress, I lived the stress, and it just makes me very, very grateful for Evelyn, but also really passionate about trying to strengthen what's going on with families around the country, because I talk to parents who have special needs children and they are getting nowhere near the support that they deserve.
So one of the things that I learned, because my first child was the child who had these problems and challenges, well, there are a couple of things I learned I want to ask about. One was that, you know, your child is born and you have all these dreams and visions for what that child is going to do with his or her life. And then you discover they have these challenges and you have to reorient your thinking. In my case, it was, will she ever be happy and healthy? Will
Yes.
she have a happy and healthy day? But, you know, again, you come from a family of high achievers. You probably had, you know, lofty visions. How do you make that adjustment?
I love this question so much, David, because this is really the underpinning of why I'm running for president. So if we let the market value us, what is the market going to value your daughter or my son at? We are in this position where we're actually arguing that we should turn coal miners into coders because we have confused economic value and human value. Where if the market says you have no economic value, then you are valueless, and then we have to try and find some other way to plug you into the machine for you to have any value. And if your town has no value or your occupation has no value, then that's on you, because we live in a quote-unquote meritocracy, and it's up to you and your hard work and your character. And when you have something in your family that lets you know how ridiculous all of that is, and how we need to evolve in the way we think about why we're human, what this country should be all about, what we should be measuring in terms of our economic progress. Should we be measuring GDP and corporate profits as our life expectancy is declining because suicides and drug overdoses and depression and anxiety are all at record highs? Or should we be measuring how our kids are doing, whether our environment is sustainable, our mental health and freedom from substance abuse? One of the things I said in my book, you all are here at the University of Chicago, you're at like the tippy top of the educational pyramid. To the extent that winners exist in our quote-unquote meritocracy, you are it. And I know that you do not walk around feeling like a winner like 100% of the time. That, you know, that you're anxious, you're stressed, you feel like you're in a race, you're not even sure what you're racing towards, but everyone seems to be running their asses off. And so if this is what it's like for the winners in this system, imagine the people who are kicked to the curb, looking up. This is why we need to rewrite the rules of the 21st century economy to work for human beings as quickly as possible.